Okay, good evening. Welcome to the January 4th, 2023 meeting of the East Bridgewater Finance Committee. We will call the meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. And we're gonna start with meeting minutes, but we'll wait because we're waiting on a couple copies. First, we'd like to welcome George Juven, yes, to the Finance Committee. So welcome. George is our newest member. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we will, yeah, I'll keep them, thank you. Welcome, George. We'll get you up to speed and everything, but George has been sworn in, so he is good to go. We do have a couple members absent or running late, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. Next on our agenda, we have a request from the Finance Committee reserve fund for a DPW motor tied to the acquisition of the new town ambulance. So we have Fire Chief Heron and DPW Director John Haynes here, so if you want to come on up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello. So the request in front of you tonight is to upgrade our existing automobile lift. We have a lift in our DPW facility that we utilize essentially to lift vehicles for service-related reasons. The current capacity on that lift is approximately 16,000 gross vehicle weight pounds. Unbeknownst to us, when the new ambulance was procured, it wasn't until it actually came in for service that we identified that because it's a different manufacturer, it's a Ram rather than the Fords, which we've typically got, all due to the wacky world we're living in. It weighs more. It's not a bad thing. It's actually, it's a bigger, stouter motor. It's got a Cummins diesel engine, which tends to be a little heavier than the Ford diesels. It's all good stuff, but come to find out, it exceeds our certified lifting capacity for the vehicle lift. And obviously, no one is going to put an employee at risk and put them underneath a piece of equipment that's not rated to lift. So
Right.
What we're before asking is actually not to replace the actual lift, but just to upgrade the arms. So there's a little stouter arm that actually holds, four swing out arms that come off the mast, and then the actual motor itself that drives those arms up. So you get the lifting capacity. Likely it's something that was gonna come forward anyway, because every vehicle is just starting to get heavier. Again, not a bad thing, and particularly if and when we move and transition towards electric vehicles, they're substantially heavier. So I envision that this unit will, have quite a lifespan. This isn't a one and done thing. Will be utilized for several years into the future.
Okay.
And what you're looking for is the $8,992?
Correct. That's the
Yeah, it was just under 9,000.
quote we received. So it's $1,950 to actually replace the power unit on the lift, and then it's $1,295 per arm to upgrade that to have the additional 8. So that's up to 18,000.
So the present balance and set appropriation, that's your repair and maintenance budget? Does that drain that budget?
No, it doesn't drain it, but it's about, we have a $75,000 appropriation in total. So you'd be looking at one individual expense being almost more than 10% of that. And obviously, as at this point in the year, going in the winter and such, this is what I would consider an unforeseen expense. So thought it.
Well, I'm just concerned that come February, your maintenance and repair, you're gonna need money.
I would be concerned if we go in, and if we were to utilize the, you know, try to take $8,900 or almost $9,000.
No, I'm
from it
talking
now.
about taking the 5,100,000 out, right?
The current balance.
Right.
Yep. So that's why we're requesting the reserve transfer for the purchase of these lifts into the existing budget.
Okay, I'm reading this wrong. That's the present balance in that account, 51.
Correct.
Okay. Right. I would make a motion to approve the request for $8,992.50.
Okay, we have a motion by Dave.
Second?
Okay. I was thinking Karen can't make a motion or second on this one, so, so motion by Dave, second by George. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And one abstention. Okay, motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime. Um,
Feel free to come down to the bicentennial meeting.
Okay. All right. Next up,
Do the minutes?
yes, we can actually do the minutes. So we have 4 sets of minutes that we need to approve. So we'll start, we have October 3rd and 25th, which had been sent out previously, and then November 8th and November, I think I got 14th, which I know they were sent out via email, but everyone has paper copies, so with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve October.
No discussion first?
Oh, if there's discussion. No, go ahead, sorry. Well, usually we make a motion in a second, then we
Oh, okay,
discuss.
go ahead,
Yeah,
we'll do
okay. So, I'll entertain a motion to approve October 3rd, October 25th, November 8th, and November 14th.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yeah, there's just a typo on my name on one of them. Does
Oh.
that matter?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's my discussion.
Make a
Okay.
motion with the adjustments.
We can, yeah, so we'll note that Karen's name is spelled incorrectly on, her last name on the 25th?
Yes.
Okay.
In the third.
Is it on the 3rd too?
I think it's okay on the third.
Yeah, okay. It won't change the materiality of the.
Yeah, so, look at them, they're pretty accurate, good job.
Thank you.
So,
Karen's first stab at them.
yeah, I think they're great.
So,
good.
motion by Dave, I'll second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed? Okay, good. So then we'll sign everything afterward and get it to the clerk. Okay, so our meeting minutes are done. The big thing we wanted to do tonight was assign department liaisons. Actually, before we do that, Charlie, would you mind just giving us an update to the whole committees with the budget season? And I know you had the kickoff department meeting. I apologize.
So I believe, I'm doing this off the top of my head, but we're trying to have budgets in by the end of next week, which is the 13th. Yeah. And I don't know, I haven't checked with Melanie what's in or not. I've had a few people ask questions more. Since the Board of Selectmen has not discussed salaries and wages for fiscal '24 for non-union folks, obviously, whatever we end up with the union contracts, we'll end up with, both for the ones that we're still working on that are for the year we're in now and future years. I think the firefighters and clerical are still outstanding there. We're gonna be working with patrol officers for fiscal '24. We had an initial meeting with them a few weeks ago before the turn of the year. We haven't really gone anywhere yet. That's not terrible, it was just an intro meeting. But For the non-union folks, the board hasn't discussed it, and they have not gone back and looked at the Collins Center information. My hope is by the end of the month, they'll have done that and come out with some sort of recommendation for the changes in the wage and salary schedule, whether it's, again, a general wage increase or whether they're gonna be picking and choosing based on the Collins Center. But what that has meant is going back to the departments and saying, for right now, do not add in a general wage increase for your employees unless it's per the contract. Or, you know, for non-union folks, if they're in steps, then, you know, move them up on the steps. So even after they get to Melanie, we may need to make some further adjustments based on what the board's recommendations are. Obviously, you may, you know, have your own opinion about it and everything like that, but the budgets that will be ultimately submitted to you, even revised, will be based on the selectmen's recommendations. And then you'll make, you know, your own recommendations one way or the other. So, and that's true for the operating budget and also capital. We're asked for the capital budget articles to be submitted by the 13th.
For this year, because I want to do a forecast on capital going forward. So are they submitting the request for capital for this year that they're?
We're asking for future years also.
Okay, beautiful, thank you.
Okay. Great, so we'll have, because we don't have everyone here, we'll probably need to meet again in 2 weeks, I'm thinking after.
I think we can assign them.
Oh, no, we're gonna assign tonight. Yeah, no, but we'll need to meet in 2 weeks to go over the
Too bad
actual
you're not
budget
here.
submissions. So what we've typically done in the past is we have the larger departments, we assign 2 people to be the liaisons for those departments. And then the smaller, or I don't wanna say smaller, but the departments that have less complex budgets, we just assign one person. But Dave and I think we'll need to take on mentoring the 4 new members this year through the process. I did mention Melanie Dean, the town accountant, is extremely helpful through this process. She served on the finance committee for 3 years before transitioning to the town accountant's office. Charlie and his office are very super helpful, so we'll get through it all, but we'll have a little bit of learning curve, but that's okay. Everyone will be experts by the end of it. So I'll just start. So I've already been in talks with the school, and I've done the school in the past, so I'm going to continue to do that. We have a meeting this Friday already set up, just so the whole committee's aware, with the new administration being sworn in, I think tomorrow. In the governor's office, they've already announced that there's going to be a delay in the announcement of Chapter 70 funding, which is the big portion of the revenue that the schools get. So that's probably not, was it April, Charlie? March, but later in March. So we've asked the schools prepare it on the expense side, and we'll figure out what comes in from Chapter 70. But we've always had that delay, but it seems like it's going to be a few weeks later.
Well, yeah, I mean, usually the governor, at least the past couple of governors, have submitted a Chapter 70 budget, or at least the outlet, enough so that communities know by the MMA meeting in January, so usually like 3 weeks from now, but obviously with a changeover in administration, that I wouldn't expect Healy or anybody else to be able to pull that off. If she's got even if she decides on exactly doing the same type of formula and such, and allocation of money, it isn't gonna be done in 3 weeks. I mean, she's only, so.
Okay. Do either of you have an interest in the schools being a liaison? I can do it by myself, because I've
What you
done it in
gonna
the
have
past.
Lisa do?
Oh, I was gonna ask Lisa, because she was on the school committee. That's right, okay, so we'll add Lisa to that. Thank you, Dave, I forgot. Good memory.
Only sometimes.
That's, you've done fire in the past,
I've done
right?
fire, planning, veterans.
I was hoping you and I could each take 2 of the big
Oh, yeah,
ones.
that's fine,
Okay.
yeah. If you want, I can do the police with George, you can get involved with that. okay?
Okay, and then I'll do the DPW. I've done that in the past. Would you want to do DPW?
Sure,
Okay.
that's fine.
And then with fire, maybe I'll put Karen.
Sure.
That way everyone will get exposure to a large department. All right, and then, so we'll just go through, if you have an interest in them, let a town accountant, so that budget, it's a little bit bigger, but it's not huge, and it's pretty straightforward, and again, Melanie does a great job.
I'll do that.
Okay. The town assessors department. Paul is very well seasoned.
You know what, so on some of these here, so we've got the new folks, you know, buddying up with us,
Mhm.
and we'll do those big ones. Why don't we buddy up with them on the smaller ones, and we can sit in on it and just give them some guidance if they need it.
Yeah, we can do that.
And if, you know, if we go through one or two with them and they've got it down, then they're all
Then
set.
we're all
So
set,
we'll-
yeah. Okay. Are there any departments that you're in particular interested in, or
No.
that your background lends itself to?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, all right.
I will say that I do have a background in information technology,
Okay.
despite what my husband said.
All right, so
Board of Health, right?
we have, yeah, so we have Board of Health. That would be a good one for George.
I'll do it with them.
Okay. The Rec Commission, that one's not
Not that big.
not crazy. We can have Lisa do that one, and I'll do it with her. The Historical Commission, again, kind of
Another small one.
regular, so we have George, Lisa.
You give Joe.
So Joe, last year, I think he did conservation.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have for historical?
Karen. And then I'll do that one with her too. That's gonna, will be very, and I think Joe also did council on aging
Mm-hmm.
last year, so he can do both of those on his own. And we'll assign him town clerk as well. Then we have the Board of Selectmen, town admin, a very strenuous budget.
Who do they gotta review it with, Charlie?
Yeah.
I'll do that too.
Okay. And that one, I mean, obviously Charlie can, we won't put another liaison up with you for that one. Treasurer collector, I think Karen has background in finance
Finance,
from
yeah.
her job, so we'll put Karen on that one.
And if you want, she needs me, tag me on there too.
Okay. Um,
Do we have library? No.
Library, George, would you want to do that one?
Sure.
Okay. I've done that in the past as well, I can do that with you. And then the assessors department, I think we'll put Lisa.
If you want police, so I can do it with her.
Okay. Okay.
Do you need someone else on building planning? We just have Dave.
He can, no, he's fine. Because you did that one last year, right? Yeah. So-
That's 3 years, yeah.
Well, and once you start to do it, like, it becomes easier the second year, you kind of have a routine down, so, okay, so that's good, we have that set. We reviewed the timeframes for the special, annual and special town meeting, which will be May 8th, so if everyone can just mark that on their calendars. We do like to have representation from the committee there,
To win,
the annual town meeting,
May 8th.
May 8th.
Special
Greece.
town
You'll be
meeting.
in Greece, okay.
What?
He'll be in Greece on May 8th, so you won't be there.
We should move the meeting.
Yeah.
Oh. So can we push this list out to the team with the contact person who's doing the budget, so everybody knows who to contact?
Yeah, just send it to me.
Okay.
Either, you know, just Lee or Rebecca or myself will get it out to the
Okay,
departments.
thanks.
Here's liaisons, you know, we'll be seeing you. Hey, which way do you want, want them contacting you? Do you wanna contact them? You'll wanna get email addresses,
Yes,
for those people, so I'll work it both ways.
Yeah, we can reach out to them.
And, yeah,
yeah. So what, the way it typically works for everyone is, like Charlie said, the budgets will be due the 13th. So I'm gonna set a meeting up for us, hopefully the Tuesday after Martin Luther King Day, if that works for everyone. That way we can, because we need to, in our next meeting, then agree to a,
just so we'll have you someplace, and ARPA's gonna meet that night also on the 17th.
I'll have to.
I'm gonna be in Mexico.
Are you- International man of travel over here. That's okay. We're just gonna put the
all
timeline
right,
together
yeah.
for, is ARPA on the 16th? I thought they were on
No,
the
the 17th, because Martin Luther King Day is the 16th.
Oh, I thought they were next week.
They were going to be they realized they were gonna hit the bicentennial kickoff.
Okay, I didn't realize he moved that. Okay.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
So May 8th is a special town meeting, is it also the annual town meeting?
It is,
Okay.
yes. Yep.
That's what I thought.
Well, then maybe we could meet next week.
You know, I'll actually be back for the 8th.
Oh,
Or
good.
what about that Wednesday, if Tuesday?
Oh, I won't, this for the,
So next week, we have the first bicentennial events happening next Wednesday. Oh, Tuesday, sorry.
In 2 weeks from now, are you back?
How
no,
long
I'm
are you-
leaving on the 17th.
Oh, you're leaving, okay.
And I know where my passport is.
You leave on what day?
17th.
17th. What if we could meet next Wednesday? It would be before the budgets are in, but that's okay, because we could just get everyone on the committee. It could be a quick meeting, get everyone up to speed, go through, we could actually hand out the contact list at that meeting, go through who the contacts are, go through the process with everybody. And then once the budgets come in, maybe I'll ask Melanie if she can attend the meeting next Wednesday,
Do you know the date on that?
the 11th.
Okay, at 6 o'clock, we're thinking.
Does that work for everyone who's here, at least?
Should be so.
Okay. No?
No? What are you gonna do?
I can't do Wednesday, but.
Oh, that's, well.
Or the following Tuesday?
What about Tuesday?
Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday's
Well,
good.
that's the day of the bicentennial thing, though.
Bicentennial School Committee,
The school committee.
so are we everywhere?
What about Monday, the 9th?
Board of Selectmen and Planning Board.
So they're up, planning board's upstairs. All right.
10th.
The
Which
following
that's-
Tuesday, after the 17th, did we already rule that out?
Then we'll have the budgets too close, and then we'll do.
Yeah,
well, no,
you just won't be
17th,
here, right?
I just won't be here.
All right, so let's do
And ARPA.
Tuesday, let's do Tuesday, the 17th,
At what time?
6.
ARPA.
Crying out loud, he just said that, and I'm on ARPA.
The 16th is open.
What is the goal that we want to do? We want to get up, 16th is the holiday, right?
Yeah, so the goal of this meeting will just, the members who are not here, make sure everyone's up to speed. We'll go through liaison assignments, go through the expectations for the liaison meetings, develop a timeline for the liaison meetings, and then develop a timeline for future meetings when we have the departments come in and do their presentations.
All right, I mean, we can actually have the budgets. I mean, maybe we don't have to have the meeting that quick. We can meet on the 30th or the 31st in January, because that's still gonna give us time to set up appointments with folks, and the budgets will be here. I mean, I don't think we're gonna gain that much.
From a Charlie, from a timeline perspective, when do you think we need to have our department meetings done?
Well, I would think you'd want to have met with all the departments by the end of the month.
Of February.
Well, okay, not your individual, so people here, yes,
Yeah.
by the end of February, yeah.
Okay,
So the budgets have to be in by the 31st?
No, Budgets have to be in by
13th.
next Friday, not
Okay.
tomorrow. Was it, today's Wednesday now?
Yeah, I'm afraid to have
Isn't that-
those 2 weeks go by with
The
nothing.
13th.
I thought they weren't getting them till later.
No, the 13th, we should have, anybody that I don't have budgets for, Melanie and I will start working on.
So let's meet on Tuesday, the 17th. No, I'm sorry, gosh, that's Wednesday, the 18th. We'll meet, we'll go through everything, we'll develop the timelines for we'll develop the timeline for the remainder of the season, and when we're gonna have department meetings and in person and everything. Good gosh, that was not supposed to be the most difficult part of the meeting, I apologize.
It's fine. Okay, so let's not wait for the list till that meeting. If we can get the list before then.
Right, yeah.
And set up appointments with folks.
Yeah,
Into February.
I'll send out an email tomorrow with what needs to happen between now and
Okay.
then, or tonight. I'll have Rebecca send it out. Okay. All right. That is everything on our agenda. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
Nope.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
And a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.